Good morning. Today is Thursday, October the 15th. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Multnomah County Commissioners. The health and safety of our community and staff members are at the forefront of our minds as we continue to navigate county business in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. In accordance with the declaration of emergency announced on March 11th and extended by the Board of County Commissioners on September 24th, today's meeting is being held virtually. To align with physical distancing guidelines, some rules associated with Board of County Commissioner meetings will be temporarily altered. Please remember to mute your mic when you are not speaking, and when you're presenting, make sure to unmute your mic and check to see that your camera is on. May I have a motion on the consent calendar?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Stegman moves, Commissioner Myron seconds approval of the consent calendar. The board clerk will now take a roll call vote.
Commissioner Myron?
Aye.
Commissioner Jayapal?
Aye.
Commissioner Vega-Peterson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stegman?
Aye.
Chair Kafori?
Aye. The consent calendar is approved.
Madam Chair, we did not receive any public testimony today.
Okay, well, since this is public testimony time, I think it is appropriate that we take a moment this morning to remember Joe Walsh, who I learned passed away earlier this week. I send my deepest condolences to his family and to his many, many friends in the community. Anyone who's watched or attended a county board meeting or a Portland City Council meeting over the past few years knows Joe, or at the very least, you heard him. Joe was a regular fixture in the Multnomah County boardroom every Thursday morning, using the time set aside for public testimony to advocate for the needs of community members who are experiencing homelessness, those who are medically vulnerable, who've been hurt by institutional violence, discriminated against, or otherwise ignored and harmed by the very systems that should have been taking care of them. Joe had a clear vision for what a just, peaceful, and equitable Portland looked like. And he believed wholeheartedly that we could become it. And he used his time and his voice to push elected officials like myself and my fellow commissioners toward it. He excoriated decisions that he believed took us further from that vision. He called out platitudes when they weren't backed up by action. And he sure didn't mince words when he held the government and elected officials accountable for daylight between what had been promised and what had been accomplished. But he also gave credit when he believed it was earned. And you might be surprised to know that despite his fierce reputation, he was quick and generous with a kind word. It's just that it was delivered a lot more delicately. I fully admit that I didn't have the same kind of relationship with Joe as others in the community did, but whether you sat up on the dais or in the seats, you knew without a shadow of a doubt that Joe Walsh cared about Portland enough to do everything he could to get us closer to what we can and should be. I'm going to miss his presence, his honesty, and his conviction greatly, and his passing is a loss for our whole community. We will miss you, Joe. Would other commissioners like to say a few words about Joe? I will call through folks and see if they have a few comments to remember him. Commissioner Myron?
Thank you, Chair. What you said was so beautiful and powerful, and really spoke my truth about Joe as well. You know, what more is there to say? He was a fixture, and you know, I remember the first day that I saw him. It was actually when I was on the COAB, the Community Oversight Advisory Board, addressing police use of force against people with mental health crises. And I was like, oh my gosh, who is that guy? You know, it was sort of my first foray into public commissions and things. I'm like, And he was at every single meeting there as well, and just spoke his convictions, spoke truth to power. But like you said, so true, did not hesitate to give credit where credit was due, where he felt credit was due, and give a kind word or a word of encouragement. I'm just picturing him in my mind's eye right now, and we'll really miss him, and the community will as well. Thank you.
Commissioner Jayapal?
Thank you, Chair. Between your words and Commissioner Myron's, I don't have a lot to add. I think you've said it. Both of you have said how I feel. I was thinking, as you were talking about, the fact that I also saw Joe out in the community, and really thinking exactly what you said, Commissioner Myron, which is that as irascible as he was, he also was kind. And when I saw him out in the community, he would appreciate my being out in the community. So that combination of pushing and then encouraging and appreciating, I think really held us to account and called for the best of us. And I will miss Joe.
Commissioner Vega-Peterson?
Thank you, Chair. Now, I appreciate this chance to remember and honor Joe. I think it's been one of the losses of the past several months has been the fact that we don't have the same opportunity to engage in the public in these meetings like we did, especially when people are in the boardrooms with us. And I have to say, Joe, I think what has been shared so far is so true. Like, Joe always held us accountable. He never shied away from really naming things that he felt needed to be changed or done differently. But because he also gave credit, and also he did thank us for things. He would always refer, like his wife says, he yelled at us too much, then he'd come back and thank us. But that was, I think that made even his comments that much more powerful, because you knew that they were real, what he was feeling. And I also appreciated seeing him out in the community at different events, and also on Twitter. He was active on Twitter and really paid attention to what was going on there and what we were posting there. So I will miss him a great deal. I think we've lost an advocate for the most vulnerable in our community. And I think it's upon all of us to really, take up some of that mantle and really live some of the values that he did.
Commissioner Stegman?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I agree with everything that my colleagues have said. For me, I just look at Joe and think that he was a good man. He had high ideals, and he never gave up. And I think that that is a message that we can all carry with us right now in this time. And, my thoughts and prayers are with his family during this difficult time. And he was just a bright spot, and he spoke his mind, and he held our feet to the fire. And I agree with Commissioner Vega-Peterson that when you did receive a compliment from Joe, you knew it was heartfelt. And I think that that's what at times pushed me and our board to do our very best. And that's all you can do. And I think Joe helped us get there. So he will be greatly missed.
Thank you. Marina?
R1. Informational board briefing announcing the Community Health Council's appointment of a new director of Multnomah County Health Center.
So moved.
Second.
It's not a voting item this morning, so we don't need the motion the second, but we will next on our next one. Good morning. It is my pleasure to join with Harold, the chair of the Community Health Council, to announce the appointment of Tasha Wheat Delancey to the position of Executive Director of the Multnomah County Health Center. Tasha has served as Interim Director of the Health Center since January of 2020. Unlike other positions at Multnomah County, the Health Center's Executive Director is a position that is appointed by the Community Health Council. The division of responsibilities between the Community Health Council and the Board of County Commissioners is outlined in our co-applicant agreement. When there is an opening for the director position, the county is responsible for recruiting and presenting candidates to the council for consideration. This year, Multnomah County and the council mutually acknowledged that we had an excellent person. We had, in fact, the perfect person who was holding the job as the interim director. So we jointly agreed that the county would discontinue our candidate recruitment, allowing the Community Health Council to unanimously select Tasha Wheat Delancey as the executive director. I think it goes without saying that we are all extremely excited to have Tasha as the permanent director. We have Harold, who chairs the Community Health Council, here with us to talk more about the appointment process. Good morning. Oh, we're having a hard time hearing you. I can see your face, Harold, but I cannot hear you. We're missing out on your Academy Award-winning speech, I'm sorry to say this morning, Harold. Maybe you can try to log off and log back on. If someone has Harold's cell phone, would they mind shooting him a quick message that we cannot hear him? I feel like he's talking and not realizing that we cannot hear him.
I'm having Liz reach out to him.
Okay. Why don't we continue on? I know that Harold has to leave at 10, but hopefully he can get back on before then. Patricia, would you mind speaking next?
Patricia, can you hear us? I unmuted you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. All right, thank you. Good morning, Chair Kafori and Commissioners. Patricia Charles Tethers, your Health Department Director. And I have the pleasure this morning in speaking a little bit about Tasha Wheat Delancey. Tasha's been with Multnomah County since 2015, starting out as a senior manager at the Mid-County Health Center and Refugee Clinic, then moving into the Primary Services Director position. I have had the distinct pleasure of working closely with Tasha since January of 2020, when she took on the role of Interim Integrated Clinical Services Director. What I can say about Tasha is that she is a deep thinker and planner and is always one step ahead. She took on this leadership role during one of the toughest times, COVID-19, and she has dealt with everything that has come her way as a true champion. I can go on and on about Tasha, but I won't. But what I truly believe is that she will take integrated clinical services to another level so that our employees and our communities will thrive. Tasha, I look forward to our continued work together and supporting you in any way that I can. Thank you.
Thank you. And I don't see that we're getting Harold back on the line. I will just, not to put words into the mouth of our health council, but I will say that They have been extremely supportive of the work that Tasha is doing and really excited about the work that she will be doing. They feel that they have a very close relationship with her and with the county and are excited about the things to come in the coming years. So with that, should we just hear straight from Tasha herself? There she is. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Kapori, Chair Adiambo, Commissioners, Community Health Council. Thank you, Patricia, for the kind words. I'm so excited for the privilege to serve in this role as the new Multnomah County Health Center Executive Director for ICS Services. It's an honor to carry the torch for those who came before me and to continue the mission of the Community Health Center movement that started over 50 years ago. Really to ensure that every member of our community has access to quality and affordable care, regardless of their ability to pay. You know, I see myself as I'm here living out my ancestors' wildest dreams and my mother's deepest prayer. I was born in Tuskegee, Alabama, the home of Tuskegee University, shining beacon for outstanding, excellent education for African Americans. It's also known for the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, a stain on the U.S. medical system history, consisting of a 40-year experiment on Black men and their families, impacting the health and disrupting the trust of medical systems for Black families and Macon County for generations to come, even now. And although we've made great strides since then, our work isn't done yet. Our nation is unsettled, our communities are hurting, and we're suffering from the vile impacts of racism. Mayor Lightfoot stated, we're all in this together, but we're not having the same experience. And that's very true. COVID-19 has really highlighted the persistent and pervasive health inequities experienced by BIPOC communities. I'm committed to eliminating those health inequities and working in partnership. I just want to say thank you to my mother, my family, my husband, my 3 children, all who've been patient as I've spent many countless hours at work focused on ensuring we have access to care. I also want to say thank you to the integrated clinical services staff who've worked tirelessly to ensure that our doors have remained open throughout the pandemic, every day. You see, we're all fighting for our collective humanity, because our humanity is tied together. And that is what this work is about. That is why the Community Health Center is here. And we're going to continue to keep striving to ensure that everyone has access to health care. Thank you, everyone, for this moment and for the privilege to serve.
All right, now we have time for questions and comments from our county commissioners. And this time we will start with Commissioner Stegman.
Thank you, Chair. Tasha, I'm so excited to see you take on this new responsibility, and thank you so much for doing it at a very challenging time. And thank your family for supporting you and allowing us to use your expertise in such a meaningful way. It's amazing, and I'm so grateful that we have such a deep bench of capable, smart leaders, and clearly you are one of those. And for stepping up during a time that the weak-hearted may think twice about doing. So I could not be more happy and thrilled that you have chosen to take on this position. And I know that my fellow board members and myself will celebrate and support your efforts and are just so grateful that you've stepped up during this time. So congratulations, and I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Peterson.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations, Tasha. This is such a great day for Multnomah County, and I'm so happy to have you in the role. And I think this is one of those times where we're all going to be saying the same things, but I just wanted to say how grateful I am for you doing this role. I think from the very first time that you and I met when you were in the interim role, I felt a sense of confidence in your ability to take on this role and know what the job was because of your history and your work. And so I'm just really glad that you're going to be taking this officially and really happy about the future for ICS.
Thank you.
Commissioner Jayapal.
We are going to be saying the same things. Tasha, I am so excited about this. Congratulations. Thank you to the Community Health Council for making such an excellent choice. I will say that your remarks this morning illustrated why you are such an excellent choice. I so appreciate the depth of your commitment to the equity and justice work that the community health centers represent, and your understanding of their role in the community at large. It's about healthcare, it's about eradicating health inequities, and it's also about the role that we play in the community at large. And I've heard that from you when we've talked in particular about the clinics in my district, and I've heard the commitment that you have exhibited to the clinic's role in those communities. So you have exhibited the experience and the vision we need to take us through the pandemic and beyond. And I am so excited for this. Thank you for stepping up into this role.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Myron.
Thank you. Wow, I am so excited about this day and for coming into this role. As everyone has mentioned, what a time to do so. But I too remember meeting you for the first time and just being so, I knew how competent and wonderful that you were, in your prior service, but I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, how are we so lucky to have her at the county? She should be directing the CDC or something, but the depth and the breadth of experience that you bring to this work is really incredible, and I appreciate so much of what you said and what my fellow commissioners have highlighted. Particularly your deep commitment to the equity work that we are engaged in which our clinics are on the front line of addressing and moving us into the future on. You are the right person at the right time, and thankfully in the right place, Multnomah County. And I just so look forward to working with you and appreciate your family sharing you with us. Welcome.
And I think we have Harold back on the line.
Harold, I unmuted you. Can you try speaking?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I think there's a lot of technical challenges this morning. I'm so sorry about that. Maybe I can just say a word. I've just heard so much what everybody is talking about Tasha, and I'll tell you, yes, definitely, she's somebody who is so great. She came in at a time that was just the right time for us to get to have her. So we were so pleased because she stepped up and showed us that she has the ability and expertise to lead this organization into the future and has provided stability during these unprecedented times. We also chose Tasha because her vision of the health center is rooted in community, the foundation of the health center movement. Some of the qualities that we found and I also saw in Tasha. So Tasha is one person who has the willpower, she has the patience, she has the integrity, She has the passion. She has the connection. She has the optimism. She has self-confidence. She communicates very well. She's respectful of other people's feelings and needs and never reacts from negative situations, but only stays to make them peaceful. And then for Tasha, I'll tell you this. Today is a brand new day. Aspire for more. Take chances. Be amazing as always. Pursue your passion. Believe. Have fun. Be brave. Never give up. Make a difference. Work hard. Embrace kindness. Live your dream. Love well and stay strong. Thank you so much.
What a wonderful way to end that, Harold. Thank you for your words. And I think those are words for all of us to live by. I actually wouldn't mind having that written down for me to look at every day, especially as we're all going through some really hard times. And it's a great reminder that we do have power and control, and we do need to work together. So thank you. Very excited to have Tasha in the permanent position. I can't say join our team. She's been on our team, but now she's going to be leading our team. So we're very excited. Congratulations, Tasha. Oh, these virtual celebrations just aren't quite the same, are they? Can you see everyone clapping and cheering? All right, Marina. We have another celebration.
R2, resolution appointing Jessica Guernsey as Multnomah County Public Health Administrator.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Myron moves, Commissioner Vega Peterson seconds approval of R2. Well, as I just said, we have another celebration today and an important appointment. This one actually requires our vote. This week, I appointed Jessica Guernsey to the role of Public Health Director. And today I'm asking the Board of County Commissioners, acting as the Board of Health, to appoint Jessica as the local Public Health Administrator, effective October the 19th. Few people at Multnomah County have been busier during our COVID-19 response than Jessica Guernsey, who has served as the Deputy Public Health Director since 2017. Jessica's work with the county stretches back almost 20 years, and she has been a major force in elevating Multnomah County's public health division. She first came to the county as a public health educator in 2001 to work on heroin overdose prevention and harm reduction, helping to shape our hepatitis C prevention program. Over 2 decades, Jessica has helped cement Multnomah County's reputation as a proactive and nimble local public health authority that not only promotes the health and well-being of our community, but responds quickly and competently to crises, of which we have had a few, especially recently. Her work has ranged from establishing a regional response plan for the then emerging influenza pandemic to the development of culturally specific maternal health programs and much more in between. Most recently, Jessica has been a key leader in our COVID-19 Emergency Operations Center Unified Command, providing her invaluable guidance to our planning, operational, and public information efforts. Her knowledge, strategic thinking, and steady presence have contributed greatly to our public health response that has earned the community's trust during an incredibly tumultuous and scary time. For as long as I've been at the county, I've greatly admired and appreciated Jessica's dedication, strategic vision, and thoughtful approach, qualities that have shined throughout the county's work to navigate this unprecedented COVID pandemic. She has shown a deep commitment to addressing systems and institutions, but she's never lost sight of the individual community members we've served. As the Public Health Director, Jessica will oversee Public Health's $59 million budget and 266 employees, as well as the additional $35 million and 100 employees that we've added during the COVID-19 response. And on a personal note, I'm grateful to have met another person whose love for candy runs almost as deeply as mine. I believe Jessica is extremely capable of continuing the remarkable work that our dear Rachel Banks has done at Public Health, and she is the right person to lead public health into the future. And now I will turn it over to our Health Department Director, Patricia Charles Heathers.
Thank you so much, Chair Kafari. Patricia Charles Heathers, your Health Department Director. And so, yes, I get to say a few words also about Jessica. Jessica joined Multnomah County in 2001, overseeing the heroin overdose and prevention program in public health. I haven't had the pleasure of working as closely with Jessica, but the interactions I have had with her to date exemplifies a strong knowledge base, deep experience, and a steady head. What I do know about Jessica is that she's a dedicated public health professional who gives her all to this work. I know that she has weathered many ups and downs and continues to be rock solid in her support and her commitment to the many services under the umbrella of the Public Health Division. I also know that she's well respected in the county and beyond, and that she has a strong reputation and focus on addressing and dismantling health inequities. Jessica, I look forward to working with you as we continue to move the work of the Public Health Division forward and upward. Thank you.
Thank you. And now our departing of Rachel Banks would like to say a few words about her colleague.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair Kafori, commissioners. It is my pleasure to be here in the celebration of appointing Jessica as the local public health administrator. I'll talk a bit about my deep admiration for Jessica, but I've also been asked to talk a little bit about what the job actually is. And so I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about both of the LPHAs, so the Local Public Health Authority and the Local Public Health Administrator, which Jessica is being appointed into. So the Local Public Health Authority is a unique role, and it's the only job where we're responsible for the health of every single person in Multnomah County. And we used to talk about that in public health, and people would tease us that you think public health is everything. But what we've seen in this pandemic is that there are some public health things that impact every single person. And COVID-19 has clearly indicated that this is one of those incidents. No matter who you are, no matter how much money you make, no matter where you live, public health impacts you. And that is really our role as the local public health authority. You all, as the Board of Health, oversee that local public health authority and have really stepped into that role. And I've been so enjoyed working with you all in setting the health vision, which is really that health vision and the health policy agenda for every single person, including all of the jurisdictions that reside in Multnomah County. So the local public health administrator then is responsible for doing all that work. Making sure that we're researching diseases, making sure that we are responding to infectious diseases, making sure that the community's health is protected and promoted from really birth throughout the life course. And I could not think of a better person besides Jessica Guernsey to take on this role. It includes overseeing foundational programs, communicable disease, environmental health, maternal child family health, injury prevention, chronic disease promotion. And it includes incorporating these core public health foundational capabilities like equity, like leadership, like community engagement, like policy, and bringing those things together, all while overseeing and working with communities and not overseeing communities. Overseeing budgets is what I should have said, and working with communities and staff to bring together, as Jessica has said, this jazz piece of what we know as public health, the art and the science of public health. So that's the job that I know Jessica could do. It's a humbling job. It's a job that brings great honor, and I know that she has worked tirelessly and has a commitment. I said she's fiercely competent, futuristic. She's just the person we want at this time. She's always studied for these pandemics, planned for them, She's going to get us through this pandemic, but we continually looking on to future generations and our children and grandchildren. Jessica, I've so enjoyed working with you. I'm not going to say all the things that I want to say because I'm going to keep it non-ugly cry-faced on the board meeting today. But as a fellow Multnomah County resident who has deep roots in this community, from grandparents to hopefully grandchildren one day, Jessica is the perfect person at the perfect time to be watching over our health. And I'm so excited. Thank you.
And Candy. Don't forget Candy. All right, this seems perfectly connected to public health, doesn't it? And now is our opportunity to hear from Jessica herself.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Well, thank you. I'm really moved by those remarks. And I did prepare a few things to say, and I am going to try and stick to my script because I'm a crier. And I, like Rachel, do not want to end up with cry face in the middle of this. So I'm going to go to my notes. So thank you. Good morning, Chair Kafori, Commissioner Jayapal, Commissioner Myron, Commissioner Stegman, and Commissioner Vega-Peterson. It's an honor to be sharing the stage and the future work with my colleague, Tasha. Tasha, I'm so looking forward to working more with you. It's such a blessing to have the opportunity to work together on shared values. I want to thank you all for your confidence in me to step into this role. It's humbling and it's an honor. This is a bittersweet transition for me. I'm so grateful for the last 20 years of side-by-side learning and growing with Rachel Banks. We started here at the same time and worked side-by-side across multiple areas in public health. We had our babies within a month of each other. Nyana and Lorenzo, if you're listening, please check into your virtual classes first. 20 years of working and growing together, late nights, especially in the last 8 months of the COVID pandemic, figuring things out. These are big shoes to fill. I've learned so much from working with Rachel: humility, courage, grace, open vulnerability, working with people to help step in and step up, compassion, elevating community wisdom and voice, showing up as your full self, and most importantly, confronting our collective historical wrongs: racism, slavery, colonialism. These are the roots to all of the health issues that we see now. All of this while building towards a different way of being that is vibrant and full of resilience, where everyone has access to the means to be healthy: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. A lot of people can talk about change. Rachel manifests change, and this is what I've learned from her. Like I said, these are big shoes to fill, and I'm committed to continuing to the work we started here together. It's a commitment I take to heart in service to Multnomah County communities. I'm blessed to work with a group of people in the division, the public health division, the department, and through our community partnerships that share incredible commitment, heart, and hardworking spirit. My deepest thanks to all of our staff and partners for every work every day. This is collective work. No one person can do this alone. I'm also grateful and thrilled to be working with you, Chair Kafori, and the board. You all understand and embrace what it means to lift up a public health agenda and address underlying causes. I look forward to continuing to support the work of the Board of Health to address our most pressing and complex community health issues, including our continued response to COVID-19. Just a few words to my family. I know that they're listening from various parts in the country. I'm not going to lie. I'm a lot to put up with. So you heard it here. I work a lot. I have a whole group of people supporting me that I love: Lorenzo, Stephanie, Danny, Dustin, Mom, Dad from rock and roll heaven above, Ben, Adrienne, Louisa, Georgie. I have a group of friends and mentors that listen and support me. Thank you so much. It's only through your support that I can do this. Mom, I hope you figured out how to figure the video link out and you're listening this morning. I want to thank you in particular. You are always asking me about why I work so much. I learned that from you, and it's one of the greatest gifts that I can imagine. You taught me to show up and keep going. And I really want to thank you. Again, thank you for this opportunity and honor to serve as the Public Health Director.
And I know that our board members have questions, lots of questions for you, and comments and accolades. So we will have a chance for everyone to speak. Commissioner Myron, would you like to say something?
Wow. I was already having trouble finding words because you are just so amazing, and I'm so excited to have you stepping into this role. And though devastated by Rachel's departure, I think you are perhaps the one person that can make Rachel leaving okay, and knowing she's going to the state. So I think, was it just yesterday? I think it was just yesterday or the day before. I lose track of time. But when I met with you and Rachel, and just it was just such a lovely time to connect and just learn more about you and your vision. You are just, and I've known this, but it just all came and it struck me yesterday talking to you and hearing your beautiful, powerful words today. But you were just so brilliant, thoughtful, passionate, kind, compassionate, and just plain competent. I am so impressed how you have done the work of multiple people stepping in during the COVID pandemic. And I honestly don't know how you do it. I don't know if there's like twins. You can ask your mom if she made it on, online here. But you have done so much for the county and just led so much of our most important work. I am thrilled to see you stepping into this role. And, like I said, it's the only acceptable thing about Rachel going to the state. So I personally look forward to working with you and supporting you any way that I can, and collaborating on addressing these issues that are, as Rachel said, public health is everything. Addressing these issues that are the most important facing our community now and for the future. So welcome, and as I said before, to Tasha's family, thank you to your family, Jessica, for sharing you with us, and congratulations.
Commissioner Jayapal.
Thank you, Chair. Just another wonderful, wonderful appointment that we get to make today. Commissioner Myron said it and Rachel said it before her. Public health is everything, and everything is public health. I think that's what we all have a growing recognition of. So you're stepping into a big job and you're filling big shoes, but everything that you've done, the 20 years of work, the equity work, the amazing COVID work, and like Tasha, the remarks that you made this morning, I think the values that you both have chosen to elevate in your remarks today tell us how you'll do the job, and tell us the values that you'll bring, that you already bring. And those are the values that can make Multnomah County the best that Multnomah County can be. So I am thrilled about this appointment. We haven't had a chance to work together very much, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. Congratulations. I hope your mom is watching, and if you are, thank you, Mom.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Peterson.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations, Jessica. I think what I'm struck by this morning is both with Tasha in her new role and you in this new role is what a great position we are in Multnomah County to continue the really strong work on health equity for everyone, for every single person in the county. And for me, the public health director role is so huge. And that's something that I've learned over the past few years of being on the board is really, there's so much authority that we as the public health body actually give to the position of the public health director. And that role has been so critical always, but especially in light of COVID and the impacts that it's had on our county and our community and the way that we've had to respond to that. And I have so much confidence in your ability to do amazing in that role, to follow in Rachel's great footsteps and great model that she's put in place. And I'm just excited about the partnership that we're going to have with the state, with Rachel in her new role, and what that means for health equity for everyone across the state as well. And Jessica, you have such deep roots in the county. You have such deep roots working at the county and here, in the county in general. And I think that's just going to bode well for all of us and for the future. I'm really excited about the future direction for public health and the way that you're going to serve in this role. So thank you so much. I do have to jump off the meeting in just a minute, so I don't know if I'm officially going to get to vote, but if I missed it, you would have my vote anyway. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Stegman.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, everything that my fellow commissioners for me of great positive news, and to see so many incredible women in leadership is powerful. And moreover, when women lead, amazing things happen. And so I'm really excited to see that continue. I think you or someone said that you are the perfect person at the perfect time. I agree with that. And I know that you've been so amazing. You attended one of our East County issue forums, and you explained some complicated things in a way that was easily understood. And so I think you have this way with people of taking very complex ideas and making them understandable. So I think that that's a very unique, special talent that you have. And I like what you said about your mom, that she taught you to show up and keep going. And I think that's great advice. And clearly, that's what you have done. And we're so fortunate to have your mom and to have you as part of our county team. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Oops. Yes, no, I'm not on mute. Now, Marina, if you would please take a roll call vote.
Commissioner Myron?
Aye.
Commissioner Jayapal?
Aye.
Commissioner Vega Peterson?
She had to leave.
Oh, Commissioner Stegman?
Aye.
Chair Kafori?
Aye. The resolution is adopted. And now we'll have a quick party break. Yay!
Thank you.
R3.
All right, Jessica, time to get back to work. That was fun.
R3, budget modification DCS 00221, appropriation of $100,000 from EPA to pesticide reduction outreach.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Stegman moves. Commissioner Myron seconds. Approval of R3. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners, Chair Kafori. For the record, Tom Hansel, Department of Community Services. Joining me this morning is Roy Ely with our Transportation Division. I'm here today asking for your approval of this budget modification from the Environmental Protection Agency. It's a 2-year award. This year we're asking for a $100,000 appropriation. The total award amount is $232,000. And I'm going to turn it over to Roy to kind of share what this grant funds will do for the county and the state. Roy?
Great, thank you, Tom. Good morning, Chair Kafuri, Commissioners. My name is Roy Ely, Water Resources Specialist. Good morning. I'm the Water Resources Specialist in Transportation Division, DCS. So Multnomah County serves as the fiscal sponsor for the Clean Rivers Coalition. This is a new voluntary collaborative with participation of over 60 organizations that's creating a new statewide public outreach campaign for clean water. This collaboration includes cities, counties, water-related nonprofits from the Hood River down to Rogue Valley, and several state and federal agencies. I serve as the chair of the steering committee that leads this group. So this public outreach campaign frames water quality as a statewide issue, not just a local issue, and it will connect people to the rivers, connect people's behavior to the river, and also to promote behavior changes that will lead to fewer toxics in our rivers. This new EPA grant is from the Columbia River Toxic Reductions Program, and it's going to help us implement this campaign, and it'll reach audiences throughout Oregon and Southwest Washington. The grant itself has several elements. One is to create a video about toxics in the Columbia River Basin. We'll also have new videos around pesticides to give people a sense of how pesticides enter our rivers and what they can do to help. We'll also get some training on community-based social marketing techniques so that our outreach to communities directly will be more effective. And then we'll also be doing workshops with the Latinx communities so that we can really have this campaign be a culture building effort. And then finally, we'll have significant funding for digital advertising. And as Tom mentioned, this is a 2-year grant. This first year is $100,000, and the remaining will be programmed in the development of the fiscal 22 budget.
Thank you, Roy. Marina, did we receive any public testimony on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
I am going to call on commissioners by district to see who has questions or comments. And this time we will start with Commissioner Stegman.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Tom and Roy. It's great to see you. I haven't seen either one of you in person. A lot of us have not. But Roy, I think back about when I got to see you when you were working on the Stark Street culvert. And you gave me a tour and how passionate you were. And we've actually seen some fish come back. And so anyway, I mean, this is amazing, and yes, fewer toxins, cleaner rivers, something that is incredibly important. And I know that we have such a great team, and you're doing everything that you can and going after every dollar to help us get cleaner rivers. So thank you so much for your passion, and this is great. Good news. Thank you.
Commissioner Jayapal.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Tom. It really is good news. And it was interesting to hear about the collaborative. This is work that I didn't know about. So I really appreciate hearing about it. I love the fact that we're working across regions and across jurisdictions, and such important work. So thank you very much.
And Commissioner Myron.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Roy. I echo Commissioner Jayapal and Commissioner Stegman's comments. No questions.
Thank you to Roy, and thank you to Tom. Thank you for all the great work you're doing, and look forward to hearing more about this program as it moves forward. The board clerk will now take a roll call vote.
Commissioner Myron?
Aye.
Commissioner Jayapal?
Aye.
Commissioner Stegman?
Aye.
Chair Kafoury?
Aye. The Bud Mod is approved.
R4, budget modification DCS 00321, appropriation of $513,715 grant from the Center of Tech and Civic Life.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Myron moves. Commissioner Jayapal seconds. Approval of R4. Welcome back, Tom.
Yes, welcome back. So I think I enjoyed listening to the appointments much more than this dry budget information. So thank you for your enthusiasm with budget modifications. But for the record, Tom Hansel, Department of Community Services. Again, this budget modification is coming from the Department of Community Services in our elections office. It's a $513,000 grant. The grant is the result of Commissioner Vega Peterson's involvement, who brought this grant opportunity to the attention of governmental relations and the chair's office. Sherry Campbell became engaged, worked with the elections office, and pursuant, we had an application. This was a very rapid application process. We were notified, applied on the, the 10th of September. We came back to you with a notice of intent of application on the 17th. The chair's office was notified of award 1 week later. So in 2 weeks, we applied and we received an award, and we're here today to get appropriation. This grant, as Marina said, comes to us from the Center for Tech and Civic Life. It's a not-for-profit 501c3 organization. And their message is one that they want to connect Americans with the information they need to become and remain civically engaged and ensure that our elections are more professional, inclusive, and secure. And, a few quotes from their website. This is a new organization I wasn't aware of, but they say it's time to push our democracy into the 21st century. We harness the promise of technology to modernize the American voting experience. They go on to say, why fund elections? So their belief is we are going to get high-performing election offices, increase confidence and trust, a more resilient and adapted election system, better and informed voters. Looking at their website, Center for Tech and Civic Learning, their accomplishments were noted in a TED Talk labeled what's needed to bring the U.S. voting system into the 21st century. So it's a talk that can be accessed. The provisions of this grant award require that the funds must be used exclusively for public purposes of planning and operationalizing a safe and secure election administration here at Multnomah County in 2020. Tim Scott, our county elections director, is unable to join me. As you know, he's a little busy with a November election right around the corner. Tim and his team have been and continue to work on a strategy to maximize the use of these funds under the terms of the grant. Today's budget modification will support a plan to secure automation and ballot processing equipment, the expansion of a new ballot drop box at McCoy Park in North Portland. Additional purchases will be exercised to enhance election security. This includes drop box monitoring, ballot processing, and building security. Grant funds will also allow for facility rentals and enhancements to meet the physical distancing of voting booths, phone bank enhancements to decrease caller wait times and enhance cleaning. Funds will also be directed to cover the cost of the increased demand for personal protective equipment that we're seeing through this pandemic. The grant term will cover election costs not previously appropriated in the election's current budget and cover the cost incurred from June 15th through December 31st end of this calendar year. If Tim were here, I know he would have much more to share on how these funds will be exercised and appreciated here at Multnomah County. So I'm available to answer any questions that I might be able to, but I know Tim would definitely entertain visits when appropriate to see all it's amazing what he is doing as he adjusts his operations to support safe and secure voting. So. I'm available for
Thanks,
questions.
Tom. Thank you, Tom. Marina, did we receive any public testimony on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
I am going to call on commissioners by district to see who has questions or comments, and we will start this time with Commissioner Myron.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you again, Tom. These are such challenging times right now, and really just appreciate the so much work and dedication and the way that people are stepping up and addressing these issues that are, central to our democracy, really. Thank you. No questions.
Commissioner Jayapal?
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Tim, in absentia. I think every single day we are reminded how important voting access is, whether it's seeing photographs of lines in Georgia or reading that Milwaukee is actually vastly reducing the number of ballot voting sites that it has. And it makes it so important. And I'm so proud to be in a jurisdiction that takes voting access seriously and continues to work on expanding it in every way we can. Thrilled about the Dropbox in McCoy. Again, one ballot Dropbox might seem like a small thing, but it is not at all a small thing for that neighborhood. And every single thing that we can do to make voting easier for our residents is the right thing to do and an important thing to do. So this is great news. Thank you to all of you for this work.
Commissioner Stegman.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Tom. And even though Commissioner Vega-Peterson had to leave early, I mean, wow, what amazing teamwork. And the fact that Sherry Campbell and our team was able to turn this around in 2 weeks. Some of you may be aware, sometimes government doesn't work as fast as we would like it to, but that is not the case here. So my hat's off to you. Way to go. As Commissioner Jayapal had mentioned, I mean, I've seen the same newsreels where people literally are in line for 8 hours to vote. And that just seems absolutely insane to me. But we do know that that happens. And I'm so pleased that there was this grant that we could apply for that would help give access to voters no matter where they live. So proud of our, vote by mail. We are light years ahead of many parts of the country. And that is because of our amazing staff. So thank you all. And this is great to get more money.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Stegman, for giving a shout out to the amazing Sherry Campbell, doing so much work behind the scenes. She doesn't often get as many accolades as she deserves. And I know she worked very closely with elections to quickly get this grant application in, and exciting that we were able to receive these dollars. We are very, very fortunate to live in Multnomah County. We are by far the most advanced and sophisticated vote by mail county in the most advanced and sophisticated vote by mail state. And we have worked so hard, and my hat is off to Tim, Scott, and the entire elections division. They've worked so hard to make sure that voting is as easy and for everyone who's registered to vote and who can. And it is ever more important this election year that everyone votes early and everyone makes sure to get their ballots in. Any steps that we can take as government to ensure that our residents feel that their ballot will be counted and that it will be safe and secure, we need to go the extra mile. And I know we have done it, and these dollars will really help us do that. And I want to remind folks to sign up for the automated ballot information so that you can have a text, an email, a phone call, or when your ballot is sent, when it is received. It gives you a great peace of mind to know that your ballot has been counted. So with that, Tom, do you have a question? Or you have something to say?
Yeah, I just, one more comment, Chair Board. I expect we will be coming back with another budget modification. The Secretary of State's office is finalizing distribution of COVID relief funds that will come to the county. It looks promising that we may see an excess of 500,000 additional from the federal government in support of our election. So again, this is the hard work of our election staff, and we will be doing our best to spend those funds down. Thank you.
Thank you. And that is important to note too. There is a concerted effort from some folks at the federal level to sow the seeds of doubt in our public that their vote by mail elections in particular have issues. And we want to assure every voter in Multnomah County and in the state of Oregon and around the country that your vote matters and your vote counts. Marina, would you please take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Myron?
Aye.
Commissioner Jayapal?
Aye.
Commissioner Stegman?
Aye.
Chair Kafoury?
Aye. The Bud Mod is enthusiastically approved. All right, now we have come to the end of our scheduled board meeting, and we have time for board comments on non-agenda items. So I will call through commissioners to see if you have anything to discuss or to announce. And we will start with Commissioner Jayapal.
Oh my God, I'm all a tizzy. And luckily I have nothing to announce, because if I did, I would have muffed it entirely. You can't do that to the chair.
Got to keep things lively around here, ladies. Okay, Commissioner Stegman.
Thank you, Chair. Just wanted to remind folks that the Raphael House is having their annual gala, and that funding goes to help domestic violence survivors. And we know in this time that those folks need more support than ever. So hope anybody who would like to join, you can probably go to the Raphael House website and register.
We'll see you there. Commissioner Myron.
Thank you, Chair. Nothing. I got nothing. But there is a lot happening. So stay engaged. And just want to state that this was a very inspiring board meeting. So have a great weekend, everyone, and Friday.
Thank you. Thank you all. That concludes today's regular board meeting, and there being no further business, we are adjourned.